Ordered that social security agencies Sassa and cash Paymaster services should continue with their mandate to pay social grants. And this is where Elvis comes in. Elvis?
Thank you, Kendall. Now, today you heard the Constitutional Court that has ordered the Social Security Agency Sassa and Cash Paymaster Services, or CPS, to continue with that mandate to pay the social grants for the next 12 months. Now, it heard the arguments about how Sassa plans to ensure that 17 million social grant beneficiaries are paid come the 1st of next month. Let's now go live to our reporter on the ground, ALDRIN SAMPEAR. ALDRIN, a very good morning to you and welcome again.
Yes, good morning, Elvis. We continue with reaction to this Constitutional Court ruling that just took place. Of course, it was an urgent matter, first heard on Wednesday, and as soon as Friday, 2 days after that hearing, we have a ruling that has been handed down. And of course, as you've indicated, that the Constitutional Court has ordered that CPS and Sassa continue in the current contract that they have. However, there are strict conditions attached to the extension of that contract, and well, the invalidity of the contract has also been suspended for the next 12 months, and an order being handed down that Sassa should try over the next 12 months to see whether it can in-house the distribution of social grants. One of the applicants in this matter, and a friend of the court rather, is the South African Post Office. They made an application and they argued that they are willing and able to distribute the social security grants. One of the options that they had in place were to, because it was such short notice, that by the 1st of April they'd probably be using a voucher system that they can introduce, and after that obviously the money system as well. Right now I'm joined by the CEO of the Post Office, Mark Barnes. Good afternoon. Quite an interesting judgment, but I don't know if you find it peculiar at all that the Post Office was not mentioned.
No, I think it was a level-headed judgment, and it achieved the continuity in the first place. We needed certainty, and I don't think anything could be imposed on the system within the short time frame that we got left, which is a matter of days. Okay, so I thought it was well considered. I think, that having put forward alternatives, we might have, I hope, influenced the fact that it's not a 2-year contract, it's a year contract, which is well within the capabilities, certainly of the Post Office, working under instruction from SAPA to help us find a solution. That was the first thing I thought, and I think one of the most enduring positive things coming out of this judgment was the protections of people's data, because I think that economics is not even talked about, and I think that's one of the most imperative things that we need to do in our new cyberspace world that we operate in. So we think it was a fair and level-headed judgment. In fact, I don't think there was much you could have expected differently that would have been sensible. So this gives all of us time to sit back and reflect. The Post Office has done an enormous amount of work over the last couple of months, looking at alternative technologies, looking at the capacity within Postbank, looking at what sort of agreements you could structure with cash and transit companies, and so we stand at the ready to bring those to bear in a debate internal to government. The other critical thing I think for us is that in that 12 months we must solve this thing within government, because the price bandied about was 4.7 billion rand. That'll have been halved now, or even less, because of the old prices. But every penny that this government pays out to private sector, if and only if they can do themselves, is a penny out of the fiscus that could be saved. So, if this money is transferred to the Post Office at whatever price, it stays within the system, and we would offer our services on that basis. So we're happy.
Why has it been so difficult? If the Post Office has the capability, and I was watching an interview that you did with my colleague yesterday, where you indicated as far back as 2007, 2008, the Post Office was being used to distribute grants. While you have a contract in place, that we understand, but why was it so difficult for Cabinet to sit down and say, we have this entity, the Post Office, we also have the Post Bank now, which probably will be getting its license soon. Why can't we use that entity to distribute the money?
I really don't know the history to all of those deliberations, but I would have thought that this crisis, if there is something good that comes out of it, will get us all, and I'm a government servant, it would get us all to sit in a circle and say, come on, let's try and find something together. So maybe that's the good that comes out of this, is that we sit down as government and say, not only about social grants, but everything that we could do ourselves, surely we should be doing, rather than always necessarily putting it out to the private sector at a cost. So I'm hoping that the engagement will be much stronger, but we must recognize this is a Sassa mandate. The Post Office is just a service provider, potentially, if they want us.
But it's an internal service provider, considering that it's within government.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is that this is a government obligation. This is a government service. This is not a private sector adventure. Okay, this is something we should solve amongst us. And the emphasis should be on efficiency, predictability and cost, not profit.
Well, thank you so much. There you have it from Mark Barnes, who is the CEO of the Post Office. And as you've indicated there, that we've also heard from the judges actually on during the hearings that they were arguing that why can't this issue being brought internally within Cabinet? Why can't the various ministers, the Minister of Communications and the Minister of Social Development, sit down within Cabinet and have a resolution within Cabinet that will see the Post Office stepping in and helping out with the distribution of grants. But Mark Barnes believes that the Post Office has the system as well as the experience, considering that back in 2007 and 2008 they were distributing the grants. We'll have to wait and see what happens over the next 12 months and whether the Post Office will be brought in as one of those entities that are capable of helping the Social Security Agency out. We spoke to the CEO of Sassa earlier on, Mr. Magwaza, and he has indicated that they are not singling out the Post Office. They'll make sure that they have discussions with the Post Office heading forward. It's back to you in studio.
Right, there you have